All right, one question. When do you do all your keys? Do you do it every day? The beginning of the week? The end of the week? Which is it? Are you consistent or is it random? Does it just depend on how the week unfolds? My answer to this is usually it's at the end of the week. Because as someone who pugs, it gives me this sense of dread knowing that if I try to pug a key every day, then that means every day is going to suck for that week. And if I start pugging at the beginning of the week, then why would I want to start my week with that kind of note? That is why I do everything at the end of the week. Yesterday, I logged on my resto Druid and I did basically all 8 keys on a 10 with a bunch of pugs, different people in every key. And that was super miserable. But at least it was one miserable day of the week. I didn't have to carry that pain throughout the week, so that's why I waited to the end. And I also did 110 on my AUG, which is actually the first 10 that I was able to do and get invited to, because it takes over an hour to get invited. I didn't have a 10, and anytime I try to do my key, it just turns back into a level 7, even though it was 9. So I just wanted to find a key that I could get invited to, and I stayed in queue for about an hour. I should have pushed my own key. I know, you're always saying stuff like that, even though a lot of you are just completely tone deaf and assuming that it's so simple just to push your own key. It really depends on the key that you have. What if I don't want to do this key that I have? What if I don't need to? What if I want another key? What if that other dungeon has something that I need? Which is why I tend to target certain keys that I need. I'm farming for a piece of loot that drops, and then maybe I'll see it in the vault. Sometimes I'll do the same dungeon over and over because it'll increase my chance of getting a piece of loot that I need. And once I get the gear that I need, then I start to focus on pushing my IO. My technique is that I work on getting some gear, all the appropriate stat weights that I need for that spec. I'll try to target those. And then I also try to have a pretty reasonable IO so that people can invite me. And I think the sweet spot is actually 2.4k IO for the 10 category. As long as you're a healer or a tank, I think you're more likely to get a quicker invite. But if you're a DPS, you might have to have actually a higher IO, which is counterintuitive when you can't get invited to keys to raise your IO, so you're just kind of screwed. So even if I do play a meta spec like this guy right here, he's an AUG Evoker, I'll still be waiting in queue for an hour because a bunch of people are way above his item level or above his IO, even though he is 623 and he's over 2.3k IO. That is nothing compared to people who are pretty much 3k IO with 630 item level. So this is why you do end up waiting in queue for a long time, because a lot of people like to invite those other people that surpass certain traits that people basically see at a glance when you queue up. I have a few vaults to open, and it is going to be just 2, even though you see 4 characters. 2 of these characters are a little bit neglected. I have not been able to do much on them. I haven't even done any delves, no dailies, nothing. No world content. I don't log on these characters even though I want to. I really want to play DK. I wanted to experience the really fast invites as Resto Shaman and Ellie Shaman, but I'm already invested in getting my Resto Druid. you know, situated. I've already put a lot of hours into her and she's coming along pretty well. Death Knights are the coolest. They're the closest thing we have to vampires in the game. Other than, you know, the Revendreth people. Blizzard, I think it would be nice if we could actually have a race from Revendreth. So I only have a vault to open for my Druid and my Evoker. And I will also show you my best in slot gear tracker that I've created. Available on my Ko-fi, so you can check that out. It's in the description and the pinned comment. Anyway, after that long-winded rant, I will finally log in and check out the vault on my Druid first. Every time I log in on every character, it takes like a while because the loading screen is taking its sweet time since I have all my games on a hard drive instead of a solid state. And I'm still trying to get one of those. I did have one, but my computer broke. It's such a great way to train my patience. On the bright side, we are on the resto Druid, and after farming the crap out of Mists of Tyrannus Scythe, I actually have 3 items that I can choose from, and it's strictly from the Mythic Plus section, and everything will be on a 623 item level, so hopefully it'll be something that I can actually use, and it's not something that I already have. I only have 2 myth track items, my helmet and the Gale of Shadows trinket. So hopefully it'll be something that I can replace all these other pieces that are not my crafted items, by the way. So no bracers, no weapon, no trinkets. I think I'm gonna stick with this actually, even though Unbound Changeling wouldn't be too bad, but since I already spent so many gilded crests on all my crafted items, I might as well use them. And I really do like this trinket that I crafted, and I'll try to get it to 636 this week. Yes, I just have to work on my alchemy every day, which has a 24-hour cooldown. Please, let's actually get something we can use. Oh, okay. Okay, so there are a few pieces that I could potentially use. Let's check it out. We have a pair of boots, which are definitely potentially an upgrade if I want to get rid of some haste. But I don't know if I want to do that. Although the crit mastery isn't super bad. I have to check if the tier version of the boots give haste or not. That's not super bad, but the next item seems like a better contender. Some gloves, which already has haste and mastery on them, but I can totally just catalyze the gloves because I'm wearing champions. So this is actually probably something I'll pick right away. And then Meryldar's Toll, which is from Dawnbreaker, I believe. Not a bad trinket, but like I said, I'm going to stick with the trinkets that I have right now, and this is an unused trinket, and I already have so much that is going on in a key, especially when I pug, so I'm trying to take as much load off my cognitive bandwidth so I can focus on things like being on the tip of my toes and ready for whatever. I know. People like their unused trinkets. A lot of us use 2 of them, in fact. But the fact that I'm working with an illness, a chronic illness, for me to enjoy a video game, I would like to reduce the amount of stress and overwhelm, especially when it comes to playing with random people in the game. So I think that I will pick up the gloves. I'm not even going to sim anything. I'm not going to use questionably epic at all. I'm just going to use my whatever's in there and just make a decision right away to pick up the gloves. Let's do it. Select the reward. Boom. Let's see what key we got. necrotic wick 10. As the weeks go by, I will try to get some higher IO because I'm only at 2419 at the moment, since I've been mostly doing the same keys over and over just to have a vault. I think that was my priority, just to have a selection of gear in the Great Vault, because the Great Vault is currently the way that I can get the highest item level. So I wanted to guarantee that I have a chance at myth track items, and then once I get enough of them, I will then focus on pushing my IO. So maybe I'll hit 2.5k this week, so I can get the KSH, which is something that I usually do every season. I'll hit KSH and then I'll get 3k. So that's just the sequence that I try to hit depending on how I feel throughout the season. But let's go ahead and catalyze the gloves that I just picked up. Also, let me make sure that what I'm wearing is still good. Okay, honestly, it's fine. We'll catalyze. We have 2 charges, so hopefully next week we get another piece. Hopefully, I want to say shoulders. Hopefully we'll get next week, because that is my other piece that is champions. And then eventually I'll replace all my hero track here. And I really want to get all my tier pieces situated first. So that'd be cool. All the other pieces are actually hero track anyway, so those are, I mean, I can only ask for so much, because what the universe gives me might be different. Let's not catalyze that. That is the wrong item. Make sure you mouse over the item before you actually hit transform on these things. But yeah, let's catalyze the gloves that we just got today. It'll actually turn it into a higher haste and some versatility, instead of the haste mastery, which is okay still, but yep, let's do it. Transform, yay! And this is gonna boost my item level. This is really cool. Let's put that on. 624, and because I did like 8 back-to-back 10s, oops, I'll raise the item level as high as I possibly can. So let's do that. Sounds like fun. And this is a really good piece to do that on, because it actually has some stamina, some other stats that will help me survive. So let's do the full upgrade. It's great. We have enough. Amazing. This is a great vault for my druid. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, I know it's kind of tedious, but always check what the item is that you're actually trying to upgrade. Yeah, so this is the hands. I have enough Valor Stones and enough Gilded Crests. So let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. Look at all that. Also, how close am I to upgrading this all the way? I need 5 more crests, so that means I can just do an 8 or above, and as long as we've completed, I'll have another upgrade. I'm already 625, and I can potentially be 626 maybe. So this week, looking good. I'll just borrow this yak and update my transmog. Woohoo! The next thing that I want to do is work on my alchemy, get this thing to 636, and then get enough Gilded Crests to get this to 639, and hopefully it'll boost me up to 626. Let's try to update my BiS Tracker on this character, since I remember this time. Okay. So, as you can see, I have a lot of stuff here that I crossed out and put check marks next to. My method of doing this is just using the Adobe or whatever, the PDF reader, and I'm using the editing tools like the pen and the highlight tools. This is the BiS tracker that I've designed and drew. I have an orange check mark next to the hands, and I put that there because the colors are arranged in my head. You can do this any way you want, but what I do is just put little ugly check marks with the color indicating the item level track. So orange to me means champions, yellow means hero, and green means myth. So if I have it on myth track, then I'm completely done with that slot and I can try to focus on the other slots. Adobe tool, I am going to erase this orange check mark and put a big ol' green check mark instead. This is the pre-filled version. I could totally just make my own BiS tracker based on my needs. Like for instance, none of the BiS guides online recommend using the alchemist stone trinket, but in my experience I actually think it's a really good one, so I might put that on my personal BiS tracker. Sometimes I can tweak around some pieces and it'll be completely fine as long as it works. So I can save it. So there's like a little save button. You can't see it, it's kind of cut off, but yeah, I did save it. And the next thing that I have is actually for my evoker, so I'll check my evoker as well next. Okay, so I'm on my handsome Augstarian here, my Aug evoker, and I'm going to check his vault, which contains exactly one item in it. And luckily it is a myth track item from Mythic Plus, because after all the keys that I've done on my Druid, which was a lot of keys in one day, 8/10 with pugs is a lot of keys. I waited several hours and it was like around, I don't know, it was like after midnight when I decided to log on this character to see if I can get into a 10. And after about an hour or so, finally got invited, and I was actually playing as Scale Commander, which is the hero talent that I told myself that I wanted to avoid, but I still played it because maybe I just need to be more comfortable with it. I just don't like that it tends to kill a lot of the evokers, especially when I see them in my keys. Oh, so many evokers kill themselves because they can't steer themselves properly. It never stops steering them when they want to, and then they end up landing somewhere that gets them killed. I ended up playing it because I just didn't care anymore. I was so ready to go to bed, and I was prepared to not even have a vault for this character today, but luckily I did get invited. And I don't know what was happening, but these DPS were doing so much. It was only a 10 miss because it still has a few pieces that I need in there. So conveniently it's a good key to farm, but I have no idea what it is that these people were doing, but they were absolutely killing it. They were doing more damage than any of the keys that I was healing for. So it's almost 3 million DPS overall for the enhancement. Even in my other keys with the enhancements, they did nothing close to that. So considering that I was super rusty, I haven't played this character, I feel like, in so long, because I just keep getting declined and I just don't have the energy to keep playing if all my energy goes to just waiting in queue. I don't know what I did, but maybe all my buffs seem to help these people on top of their already amazing DPS that they do without me. Anyway, yeah, let's check out what this beautiful vampy dragon man has in his vault, and hopefully it's an item that I can totally cherish and it's not a weapon, because or a belt or a cloak, which is completely possible because Mist drops like all of those, I believe. I know for sure Mist drops a staff. yeah, so hopefully none of those items that I already have missed track of, even though they're crafted, and these are actually good ones because they have embellishments, and I prefer not to replace these items, but we'll see. This is the risk you take for only doing one thing for your vault. Oh, look at that. It's none of those pieces that I have crafted. Okay, that was close. I thought that was like a one-handed weapon, which was gonna be even worse, to be honest. But anyway, I don't have to worry about that. I got a piece of loot that I can catalyze, I think. Yeah, I'm glad I took the risk of just doing one. And I'm actually very happy with 2 chesting my first 10. By the way, this character's first 10 timed. I remember something really silly happened weeks ago when I was applying to 10s, and it was a 10 missed. This was like a month. I don't know when it was. Maybe it was a month ago. Back when I was playing this, before I started playing more on my Druid, I got invited eventually to a 10 mists, and the leader, I will not say who it was, but it was someone in the streaming community, started asking me questions and kicked me out of the group because they didn't like my answer. They were like, oh, what's your uptime? Because I'm AUG, right? And I'm like, well, I've 2 tested this a few times on a 9, you know? He's like, well, 10s are different. Kick. And I just 2 tested it. So, I don't know, maybe these people carried me, but you know what? If they don't have people in their group who can carry their own weight, that's probably what they're worried about. But yeah, anyway, I'm glad the person that had the key from yesterday was kind enough to break me out of my misery and actually let me go to bed after that key. Hopefully I have a catalyst charge. I do. I have 1 piece exactly. Can anyone confirm if catalyst charges are account wide? Because my Druid also has 1 catalyst charge. So I would feel kind of bad using it on this character because I don't know if I have enough time to play more than 1 character. I know a lot of you are able to play 2 or more every season, and good for you, but as someone who suffers from a lot of fatigue and chronic pain, it's a little bit more difficult for me to continue to do that, although I have done that in the past. I just can't afford to continue to do that every season. My body suffers for it. So I'll hold off on that after getting some confirmation. So let me know if you guys are for sure about whether the catalyst is account wide or not. Let's say that I do catalyze the shoulders. That means I can erase this check mark, which is yellow because the ones that I have are hero check, and I will update it to green, and then I can save it, and that's already looking good. It's better than last week because I got a trinket that I'm probably never going to use. I should have just picked up the socket, to be honest. All right, that's done. Considering that I'm back in the game and just making content in general, I'll try to post more videos. I have so many ideas. My creativity has been running wild for months, all year, and the past few weeks. I've had so much inspiration and motivation to create new content, both as videos and just content in general, especially things that I can add to my shop. Could probably take this opportunity to update you guys on my shops. If you were already subscribed to me for at least a year or so, you know that I have an Etsy shop and I sell some nerdy role-playing games inspired merchandise on there, like D&D, like Druid tarot designs on shirts and stuff like that. That's one of my best sellers. Well, I decided to kind of step away from the Etsy stuff. I'll still have all those items available. They're still going to be on my Etsy, but I have decided to explore another route for my ideas and the designs that I want to put out there into the world. A different route, and not through Etsy, because Etsy is a pretty great platform, but it's pretty expensive. So I don't have the funds to make all the listings for all the ideas that I want to test out. So yeah, those add up. Every time that you post a listing on Etsy, they take a cut up front. And if you have like 100 items, those things add up. And I'm not in that position where I can afford to even do that. So I've actually opened up a different shop through a different writer, and you can check it out. I connected it to my YouTube, so I have a shop shelf. If you've noticed, maybe it's below this video right as we speak, but I did add it to my YouTube, and I will do my best to focus on that. It's allowed me to put out a lot of my ideas. There are some fun designs in there that you guys can check out, so please do click on the link. It's called Fourth Wall. I'm more on the branding side of things. It has like nothing to do with my name, by the way. Like, I'm not going to put a Nixica on every piece of item. I actually have a whole different approach to my merch. I make things that people would wear. Alright, so I can actually show you right away. If you go on my YouTube channel, this is what you see, my face. If you go here to the far right, you'll see the store tab. You can see some of my designs. These are my little gothy RPG gamer, WoW inspired merch. So here are some things that I have up. I can only put up to 30 items in this shelf right now on YouTube, but if you click on the link here, it'll take you to my whole shop, and you can actually explore everything that I have over there. So yeah, this is for the health potion, healing potion item. But if you go home, you'll see it's like a really cool site. I really enjoy designing this. It's been a lot of fun. My featured item. There are several collections that I have. My Vampy Gamer collection. It literally says Vampy Gamer on it, and it has like some like gothic vampire themed design. So we have a lot of pieces. You have to click on view all, and then you'll see that I put it on like everything that I could. The pillows, the stickers, mouse pads. There's a coaster, some hoodies. Lots of stuff. So these are fun. So I'm just giving you a little tour here, and then if you go back to the front page, you'll see my other collection, the Spooky Gamer. So if you consider yourself a spooky gamer, yeah, there's some other pieces that you can explore. And this is my way to try to make a living, because I live with chronic illness and I do my best to manage it. But it also makes my life hard in general. Can no longer work a normal 9-to-5 job. Although I do have a degree as a geospatial analyst. That was my last career, my last profession, and I was pretty good at it, but I became very ill, and my body told me that I just can't work like that anymore. So I had to explore other avenues for making a living, and hopefully this is something that can help me, because I've always wanted to be like a creator, and it really does bring me joy to design and draw. And just one of my favorite things in this life is being able to create things that I can share with you guys, and a lot of people inspire people. So I'm really doing my best to explore that passion of mine, and maybe it'll be rewarding in ways that can sustain me in life. So you've got a lot of like different options you can explore, and I even have some high tops for sale. Got stickers. You want to put it on your laptop or whatever, or even your own water bottles. And then next, this is one of my latest ones. It's the Goth Gamer collection. It's a simple design. but I think it kind of speaks for itself. Got a crow on a controller and just says goth gamer, and there are two different types of designs for it that I chose, like a more minimalistic one and one that's like a bigger text on it. And there's some embroidered hoodies and stuff like that. There's some cropped hoodies, some joggers, so some pants. It's really hard to see this because it's a different provider. It's a different brand of joggers. And I really like this embroidered jacket. It has a goth gamer on the side and then the symbol up there. But yeah, these are really cool. You can kind of scroll. I'm doing the whole thing right now, honestly. And these are my new and improved mana and healing potions. So you can actually get stickers now, not just the bottles. This is more the goth style than the ones that I'm selling on Etsy. I might update the Etsy ones to this because I actually think it looks better in my opinion. But yeah, now I have stickers so you can make your own bottles. And then of course pugging is spooky, though another great seller of mine on Etsy. And I added some more things like keys, and I have like a new keys symbol with the bats on it, or bat wings on it, and some stickers, and then like, you know, yeah, I do have this on my Etsy, by the way. A new line that I've launched, and it's the Healer Tank DPS for Life collection. So we have Healer for Life, Tank for Life, and DPS for Life. So whatever one you identify with and connect to the most. I have this design on several items, and I might add some more items. So I'm zoomed in right now, and so the whole concept that I came up with is, you know, it's got the cool text, and the middle portion of it is just an anatomical heart with the lifeline on it, you know, for life, you know. So yeah, that is definitely something that I enjoy creating. Hopefully it might invite some people to check out my shop. I know it's a self plug, but you know, given that this is my YouTube channel and it is a space for me to share my creations, I'm just gonna take advantage of that. And if people want to support me, then they will. If they don't, then they would have probably turned off this video a long time ago. I just called it Nixika's Lair Shop. I will try to do stuff like this every week, at least one video for the vault portion, and see if I have any updates. I really don't know what to title this because there's like a lot going on in this video. But I really appreciate you for still being here. It's more than I can ask for. I'm honestly super happy, even if I have one view on all my videos, because that's one other person. Well, maybe it's just my view, but I support me, so hey, self-love. But yeah, anyway, if it's just at least one other person other than me watching my videos, that's more than I can ask for. And I will do my best to create even more content that's literally more creative than what I've been putting out. It really just depends on my energy levels. But I will actually start doing that after this video. I have a few things I would like to film and kind of post throughout the weeks. So I'll see how that goes. Good luck on your vault if you're playing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.